Hey, 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 so tonight. Hey everyone, good night. It's Thursday. Remember, bring along someone with you tonight. Hey everybody, it's Testimony Thursday. You know, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. This one for y'all of the Christian them. We like it, we like it. We like it, we like it. On and on, on and on.
You never stop, you never stop.
Yeah, man, this is CLEOPATRA. It's a message with the Queen. It's a message. Invigorates and inspired. It's a message. Yeah, man, she came and she saw. Yeah, she was a coward, but she conquered. It's a message. So come join. The inspiration and the edification. It's a message with the tips. The humor. It's a message. Endorsed by ladies. It's a message. Uplifting and inspiring, you know. This is original Little Kirk say, hey, CLEOPATRA, them can't hold it down no time. Good over evil. Set it. Or it never yet pets it. Hey, beauty queen and straight, you know. CLEOPATRA, oh, yeah. Most I bless you, oh. True, beauty queen. Don't have it at the scene now, yeah. CLEOPATRA, tell them, them can't hold Pacha down. You see the most I got alone him with a triple crown. You can't hold CLEOPATRA down. She keep burning them with words, poems and a song. You can't hold Pacha down. At least I see those things, this at no merry-go round. No merry-go round. Them can't hold her down. Check it out. That's get the most I clear our path. I can no session and just a shot of yourself to dog. Yeah. Him give her a clean hands and a pure heart. You see she got it from the start again. But her heart it clean like a whistle. Never know back away now with a shine out with a glisten. Yeah. Well, even this one of the most I children CLEOPATRA. Yo, you rule from the beginning then. Them can't hold Pacha down. You see the most I alone him with a triple crown. You can't hold you ticking down. She keep burning them the words poems and a sound. Joy. Can't hold Pacha down. At least I see the thing. This is no America down. CLEOPATRA tell them that you will chip into the storm, to the rain. Thank you for blessing her again. She tried it to the street and to the lane. I will up here gunshot, the people in my back on the main, yeah. Father, you carry her through. So many have called, but the chosen are few. We don't care who I go and do I go. If you have no place, so you can go to CLEOPATRA, tell them. Can't hold her down. You see the most I got alone him up with a triple crown. Yo, can't keep her down. Him keep burning them with words, poems and a song. Joy, can't hold her down. And this a serious thing. This a no America brown day. Oh, CLEOPATRA, beauty queen. They say though she walks through the valley of the shadow of death, CLEOPATRA shall fear not evil. Wow, the Most High is always be there. You be the finest them can't hold Pacha down. You see the Most High alone him with a crown. Can't keep her down. She keep burning them with words, powers, and a sound of lifting the ladies. Oh, standing up for the babies. She will awaken. Keep rising.
Whoa, my God will deliver me. He will deliver me. CLEOPATRA said, la lula le. My God will deliver me. He will deliver me. Ladies, come see. My God is amazing. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. Ladies, inspiring. My God, He is faithful. I know He will deliver me. the mountain, no matter how rough the sea, no matter how wide the valley, God will deliver ladies inspiring. No matter how high the mountain, no matter how rough the sea, no matter how wide the valley, my God will deliver me. My God is amazing. I know He will deliver. He will deliver. Ladies inspiring. My God is faithful. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver. CLEOPATRA. When doctors tell you that the sick can't get better. When bills are piling up, just start to build up. When me say just go on your knees, my God, He'll get you to see those. Yes, power in the Almighty. Just read and pick up the Bible, pray. My God is amazing. He deliver ladies fire. He will deliver me. My God is faithful. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. My God is amazing. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. My God is faithful. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. God will deliver me. God will deliver me. Gonna run sing. God will deliver me. God will deliver me. CLEOPATRA. God will deliver you. God will deliver me. Ladies, just God will deliver me. God will, ladies uplifted. God will deliver you. God will, ladies inspiring. God will deliver you. God will deliver. If you're abused, you've been misused. Last time confused, you have no food and no money and no honey. Suicide and time. My God, that is my God is amazing. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver one more thing. My God is faithful. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. My God is amazing. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. My God is faithful. I know He will deliver me. He will deliver me. God will deliver me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to our Thursday night testimony show session where we talk about real life tests that turned into testimonies, situations that we found ourselves in, and we can now sit back, have a conversation, and speak about it. And look back at it and be like, wow, did I do that? Did I do that? Welcome, everybody, tonight. Welcome, welcome. If you're here for the first time, I just wanted to say so in our comment section that you're here for the first time. Don't be a stranger. And for those who come back every week, I appreciate you. I love the support. You have some people who are there just so faithful. They're just so supportive. They come, they participate, they engage in the conversation, they share the live. So tonight I'm going to ask you one favor to share this live. Listen, if you want this word to get out there, what are we going to do? We have to share, right? We have to share. We have to let others know about these things that we are here speaking about, and you are being a part of it. You don't know who can relate to what we're talking about, you know? So we can't be selfish. We just have to share this live. And I mean, for Facebook to let others know that we're out there, if they don't see anything happening, then guess what? We're just going to be stuck in one place and we're not going anywhere, but we are going somewhere. How is everybody doing tonight? How are you doing? How are you doing tonight? So tonight we're going to be talking about self-evaluation. Self-evaluation. When was the last time you take some time out for yourself and evaluate yourself? What is self, by the way? So tonight is just casual conversation where we're just going to talk. We're going to chit chat. And I want you to be engaged in this conversation. And hopefully, I'm engaging you, my audience. Tonight, I'm not even going to drink out of a glass. I'm just going straight from the bottle. I had to run home to make sure I was on time tonight. How is everybody doing? Come on, it's Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. I'm sure some of you are really happy that it's almost the end of the week. All right, so I guess I'll just wait. Facebook, are you sending out the notifications? So what I'll do in the meantime, I will just share. Okay, your device is low. Okay, I got you. You got to walk with your charger. You have to walk with your charger. Make sure that you're always ready. Thank you for checking in, Miss Tapper. How are you doing this Thursday evening? How are you? How is your family? How has your week been treating you? What are some of your accomplishments? Have you been doing self-evaluation? You know, from time to time, sometimes we're so busy that we don't even find time for ourselves, and much less to even evaluate ourselves. But we really have to find time for ourselves. Take a break. Take a break for ourselves sometimes. Get away from the children, get away from husband, boyfriend, partner, spouse, fiance, whatever we call them, and just be by ourselves sometimes. May not be for a whole day, may not be for a week, may not be for but some time for ourselves, to take some time out for ourselves. Does anyone even know who are you? Who is self? Sometimes you ever think of this when you go and you fill out an application and it says self. What is self? Who is self? So according to the dictionary, it says that a person essential being that distinguishes them from others, especially considered as the object of introspection or reflexive action. So are you talking about true self, fake self, trying to be like others? Are you being authentic, being who you are, who God says you are? I don't know. So we're going to be talking about that tonight and see where we are as it relates to self and evaluation. For myself, sometimes I have to take a step back and look at self. Who am I? What am I about? Are there things that I need to change about myself? Or am I okay with myself? Am I impressed with myself? Am I mad with myself? All of these questions, sometimes I ask myself. What says you? I don't know. Come on. I'm waiting for everybody to join tonight. Where's everybody? Where is everybody tonight? Where is everybody tonight? Are you motivating yourself? Are you allowing others to tell you that you're not who you're not, or who you are from who you're not? I don't know. Good night, everybody. Good night, good night, good night, good night. Welcome. I know so many things are happening today, and some people may not have data because my mass is from Jamaica. Some people may have forgotten that it's Thursday because they're so busy. I don't know. But I'm waiting for others to join me tonight. Yes, I see the numbers going up. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Thursday. I'm a little bit tired. I don't know about you. But I'm going to be speaking to you tonight about self and evaluation of self. And let me always start with myself. Well, thank God for another day. Thanking Him that I could be here tonight despite busy schedule, family life, all of that. I have to be grateful one more time because I can't take life for granted. Every day is a new day, new opportunity, new mercy, new anointing, new everything. So I just want to give God thanks for another day, another time that I can sit here relaxing, speaking to my audience, my conquerors. How are you doing? Your concerns concern me, and together we conquer. You know, that's what we do. All right. So there was a point in my life when I was like, am I even living? Sounds weird, right? Am I even living? Because I just felt like I wasn't in this world. It's like you ever hear the saying that you feel like a fish out of water. So at one point in my life, I felt like that, where I was like, am I even like, what am I about? You know, what is my purpose? Am I doing the right things? Am I, what is this that I'm in? All of these questions I would ask myself. And so, them times, I was just out in the world living recklessly, just living the way how I thought I wanted to. And after a while, I realized that my life or myself, I needed to take check of myself. To stop, I had to stop in the midst of my journey and be like, come on, woman. Come on, woman. Who are you? What are you doing? Pull your socks up. Pull your socks up. You gotta change the way you do things. Because a lot of times we follow friends, and we don't realize that we're leaders. The Bible even tells us, God's word said that we are heads and not tails, and we're first, we're not last, we're above only. And many times we forget. We forget. We forget, even without, the word of God. It's like we forget that we're supposed to put ourselves first. I mean, many times people will look and say, she's show offy. I got that. I get that. I get that every day. I get that even now. She's show offy. And oh, she too confident, she too this, she too that. But I'm like, if I should stop and listen to what people say about me, then I would just might as well just be wiped off earth, right? I'm not even gonna say die. And I'm like, guess what? No two persons are the same. You'll never find that. You never find that any two persons are exactly the same. Everybody, we're all unique. We're all specifically designed strategically by our Father. So we're different. I mean, others may think that they're better than other people, and they feel that, oh, because you've not achieved what they have achieved, you're not in their category, you're not in their elite group, or they consider themselves above you. But no one is above anybody, because at the end of the day, guess what? If you should put us in a line, take off our clothes, when you look, you're seeing a body, maybe different shapes, different heights, different complexions, etc. But one thing, if you should cut each person, it's the same red fluid that you will see leaking out of that. And I'm saying that I'm not better than anyone, but I know that I'm unique. We're all unique in our own way, and I am special. I consider myself special, and no one is above me. The only person who is above me is God. And I understand that you have people in authority, people in with different titles, but at the end of the day, it's how we apply ourselves. Would anyone agree? It's how we apply ourselves. Yeah, man. Don't let nobody take liberty with you, and let them know that, listen, you may be different. You may be unique. I'm unique, but you're not better than me. And so that's where I want to start with myself, starting with self. Yeah, me, myself, and I. Yeah. I wear so many crowns, but at the end of the day, I am just who I am. Yeah. Being my authentic self, raw can be, not allowing anyone to change who I am, tell me how to dress, how to look, all of that. I mean, you can take advice, but sometimes some people, they just want to convert you completely as if they are your maker. And I'm not in for that. So let's get down into this now. Self evaluations. Tonight sound a little bit quiet. Tonight just sound a little bit quiet. Where the crowd there? No man, this need crowd. This need crowd. So when we are evaluating ourselves, like when let me ask somebody, when you are evaluating yourself, where do you start? Where do you start? Because many day I talk to myself tonight. Where do you start? When you're evaluating yourself, or have you even ever evaluated yourself? Take some time out to evaluate yourself, because many of us don't. You'd be surprised to know that many of us don't evaluate yourself. But yeah, man, sometimes we have to take time out. You know, ourself could be a part. Our appearance could be a part of ourself. The way we do could be a part of ourself. Who we connect with could be a part of ourself. Are we connecting with good people? What we listen to is a part of self. What we do, I don't know if I said that before, is a part of self. So self has many different areas that we could look at. Yeah, self has many different areas that we could look at. You'd be surprised to know. But I'm going to ask you a question, even though it might make you uncomfortable. And that's okay. Sometimes we have to get uncomfortable. I believe it's important to examine ourselves. I believe it's very important to examine ourselves. And as the word says, put the beam out of your own eye before you take it out of somebody else's eye. You understand what I'm saying? So before I can say so and so and so about that other person, am I in right standing? Am I even better? Doing better? These are some of the things that we look at when we take um, a look at self, when we evaluate self. What and who do you tolerate in your life? How do you deal with people? How do you deal with situations, whether these situations are challenging situations or situations that you can just breeze by and there's no turmoil? How do you deal with situations? What are you being fed by people who you are surrounded by, or you surround yourself with? What are you being fed with those you associate with? Are you raising your standard? Do you have barriers? Do you have boundaries? All of this has to do, it surrounds self. So many things. We can go off on so many different tangents tonight when we speak of self and self-evaluation. Okay. Now, are you raising a standard just as God raises standard? And are you acting on his words? We can't leave out God. He has to be the epicenter of our lives, at least my life now. Okay, because I know what it is like when he's not the center of my life. Okay, I do. All right, one moment. Right, so these are some of the, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I had to take a quick pause. Yeah, so what are you raising your standards? Do you have boundaries? What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What are your conversations like? Did you even think that this would be connected with self? Are you a pretender? Are you pretending to be who you're not? Because let me tell you, to tell the truth, yeah, some people, many people even today, we pretend so much. We pretend that we are who we really are not. And you have some people, when it comes to the question about who we associate ourselves with, who we surround ourselves with, it's like some people, they come into you like, okay, they just want to know what's going on with you. Are you surrounding yourself with good people? Now, how can we know if people are good from if people are not bad, right? Are we ourselves being wolves in sheep clothing? If one should scan us from head to toe, especially our head, where the mind, the brain operates, our heart, like at least the top half of our body, what would they find on this scanner? What would they find on the scanner? Are we people who we are very lustful, lusting after money, things of the world, like the glam house, cars, the girls, boys, whatever? What kind of person are you? Do you really need God, or you just want what He can provide for you? Again, are you a pretender? Are you being yourself? Are you being shallow? Are you being a hypocrite? So many things that we can touch when we speak about self evaluation. Are you someone who's not with integrity, meaning or you're not transparent? Are you a liar? Are you truthful? Are you honest? Are you dishonest? All of these things come into play when we an evaluation of self. And sometimes, I go into my own little shell and I take check of myself, because sometimes also we allow people to change somewhat who we are. We allow people to control us. We allow people to aggravate us. And the word says that anything that we allow to control us, then that becomes an idol. So, are we that kind of person? I don't know. Questions, 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 questions. Now, the word also tells us examine ourselves, whether we be in the faith, prove our own self. So instead of me watching he over there, she over there, over there, over there, I have to be watching myself. I don't care who wants to watch me, really and truly, because at the end of the day, as long as I'm living a life that is an exemplary life, one that is upright, then I shouldn't have anything to worry about. As I tell people, I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. So at the end of the day, whether you want to listen, whether you want to even share the word or whatever, I'm only here to improve. And while I am improving, I'm trying to assist you in improving on yourself as well. There's always room for improvement. No matter how we think we get it. Yeah, oh, me get it, man. Yeah, man, me get it. No, there's always that 1% for improvement. So I'm not here to prove on anybody. I'm just here to share my story, my experiences, my life, and speaking with you and hear what you have to say. Because sometimes, some things happen to us, or we're going through a phase in our life, and some thoughts come to us, and we're wondering, am I the only person? But guess what? If you should really do a survey, you'd realize that you're not the only person. So sometimes, yeah, we get out of character. Sometimes we do some things that if night should turn to day, people would be disappointed in us. And so, again, it boils down to self evaluation. How many times do we evaluate ourselves? How many times? How often? In other words, how often do we evaluate ourselves? So we should examine ourselves, whether ye be in the faith, prove our own self. So as I would say to people, or you'd see people talk, oh, I'm not in any competition with anybody. I don't. I compete with my own self. I'm not going to say if I see someone out there who I admire, or, I'm like, wow, that person looks good, or, that's like a mentor. I would like to emulate someone, especially someone whose footsteps I can walk in, that is not um, a derogatory, they don't have a derogatory character, so to speak. So they have quality attributes, quality traits. Nothing is wrong with emulating someone, but when you talk about competing, that's when you talk about the jealousy comes in after, the envy, the covetousness, the grudgeful, and the backbiting, the gossiping. And I mean, are you someone who gossips? Are you someone who loves drama? Are you someone who is filled with drama? So all of these things, when we're doing an evaluation, we have to take a look at. So it's not just one main aspect of self. Self, like I said, we can look at many different areas of ourselves. Again, the word also tells us, let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of that cup. Well, that's when we're talking about like the communion, like when you're taking Lord's Supper. So even that, for some of us Christians, I mean, are we worthy when we're taking the Lord's Supper? Again, self-evaluation. You're going to hear self-evaluation a million trillion times tonight. Self-evaluation. Yes, pick the beam out of your own eyes before you pick it out of somebody else. Right now, I don't see. The Bible tells us that we can be angry but sin not. So it is okay to be angry, but it's how we break it down and how we deal with the situation and how much of self-control we have. Okay, again, check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. I'm sure you've heard that saying before. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You understand? Again, the word says, so a man thinketh, so is he. For if a man think himself to be something, then when he is nothing, he did. But again, it tells us, I think what this scripture is saying, so if a man thinketh of himself to be something when he is nothing, you're only deceiving yourself. So in other words, you're only living a lie. You're only living a lie. I mean, some people would say on the other end, when we get up and we have our mantras and our affirmations that we say on a daily basis, I am this, I'm that, yada, 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 and all of that stuff. Is it really true? But I think that's a bit different when you should, break it down, scrutinize it, and put it apart and look deeply into it. It's not necessarily in that sense. So if you know that you're not living a life, for example, as a parent, you're not living a life that your child or children can look up to you and say, hey, my mom does this, or my dad does this. And you're not setting that example, but you're telling yourself that, oh, you're a good mother, or oh, you're a good father, then you're only deceiving yourself. You're only deceiving yourself. And I'm just throwing real life situations out here because some of us, we experience them on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. Some of us, we see them. If we have not experienced them, we see them, we hear about them, even though hearsay can't go court. But you know what I'm going to say. You understand what I'm saying? So are we living a life that even our children can adapt or adopt? Both adapt and adopt. So adapt, they soak it up, right? Adopt, well, like, when someone say you can adapt to changes, mean that, yeah, if you were used to doing something one way, you can at least start doing it, you welcome it, and if it's good, then you apply it in that area. Right? So adapt, right? Are we living that life so that even our children can look up to us? Because it don't make no sense we talk all the good things them and we're not practicing what we're preaching. We're not walking our talks. That don't make no sense. That's the fluff, bagamout actions we deal with. You understand what I'm saying? So it is great to do self-evaluation and do true self-evaluation. It is important to not only do self-evaluation because guess what? Again, we may think that we're all that in a bag of chips when really we're just the trash, so to speak, in a real life. Yeah. So we have to do true self-evaluation, be honest with ourselves. Listen, we don't need nobody. We shouldn't have to have somebody to come and say, listen, no, you easily get upset, or no, you don't know how to take criticism, or no, you should at least know that you are that kind of person. You shouldn't have to wait until someone has to come and to tell you. You should stop, take stock of yourself and know that, listen, many times, we do some wrong things, and someone may come and they correct us with a rod of correction. Some of us, guess what we do right there and then? We blurb and we say, no, 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 no. And we get all strong-willed and all of that. And I've been there. So I know what I'm talking about. But deep down, when you really look into yourself, deep down, you're like, see, that's true. And it is okay. The problem lies when you are being told about something about yourself, when you know it's true, and you still continue to live a lie. That's where the problem comes in. I just want to actually show a little clipping here and talk about this, about self. All right, so I want to show you something here.
Sort of thing, because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always been
Self-love. How many of us even love ourselves truly? Because we have to learn to love ourselves before we can even love somebody else, before we can even love our children, before we can even love our friends, our families, you name it. So it's saying here that someone, when she used to say something negative about herself, there are many times when we speak negative about ourselves. Yeah. Oh, I can't do this. I can't. That's speaking negative to yourself. So that's one way. And you check yourself, do your self evaluation. How are you talking to your own self? So as you watch this clipping here, you'll see where, when you look into the mirror, when you're by yourself, I'm going to pause this right here. You look into the mirror when you're by yourself. That's a good time to do self evaluation. That's a very good time to do self evaluation. First thing in the morning, late at night, whatever, the best time you think, especially if you have children or if you have other people around, you want to take that time out when you're at peace, everything is calm, and you just take a look in the mirror. Who am I? Who do you see in the mirror? Who do you see in the mirror? What do you see in the mirror? Sometimes we have to treat ourselves. How are we treating ourselves? Are we treating ourselves shabby? Some of us, we don't comb our hair, we don't wash our face, we don't even take a shower because we're depressed. For whatever reason, we give up on ourselves because we think others have given up on us, or because others have spoken so many negatives into our lives, we start to believe that we are what we're not. Are you a tough person? Are you a determined person? Self-evaluation. That's what we're talking about today. Self-evaluation. You got to motivate yourself before anyone else can motivate you. Are you enough for yourself? Are you enough? Do you think you're enough? How do you see the world? You deserve it because you're worth it. You deserve it because you're worth it. Look at that. You deserve it because you're worth it. Let's stop right there. You deserve it because you're worth it. How many times we find ourselves even working hard, and it's like we're working hard, not achieving very much. And because of that, we have to sacrifice because we have a family, we have children, and we're not even treating ourselves to a spa, to a vacation, nothing. How many? How do we treat ourselves? You tell yourself you deserve it and you just do it, even if it's just once, twice. How many days are in the year? 365, 366, depending on the year, right? And sometimes we don't even take time out for ourselves. We just keep going, 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 going. And one of the things happen when you keep going, 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 you start getting stressed. You start feeling stressed. When you are stressed, you become antsy, you become grumpy. Nobody can talk to you. You're easily irritated. These are some of the things that we have to check off. How do we make others feel? How do we treat other people? I know, I mean, mostly in the past, I know that some people, even when they upset me, I treated them real bad. But at the end of the day, I would have justified what I did. Was it right? Probably not. So, in other words, if I find that people who come around me, or any particular person who come around me, if they're not adding value to my life, then it doesn't make any sense I waste time with them. It don't make no sense when waste time when nobody will come drag me down and want to drain my energy. No, that don't make any sense. Again, if I see that happening in my life, then guess what? I have to stop and take check of my life. Is it worth it? Do I deserve it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? So nowadays, I don't really let anyone cause me to lose control, lose self control. Soft answer turneth away wrath. When people try to come at me, I ignore them, period. Because if I know that you're a devious person, I try to disassociate myself from you. If I know that you're a pretender, I will disassociate myself from you. If I know you're a hypocrite, I will disassociate myself from you, because some people, they just come into your lives not to add any value or anything of such, but they just always be taking. They're always wanting to receive. They're always wanting to be taking from you, or they come to find out what's going on with you so they can take your ideas and run with it. That's how some people try to get close to you. So we have to be careful of the people who we entertain, the people who we associate ourselves with, because all of these things, it will either make us or break us. How do we speak? Do we speak with authority? Now, how does that make any sense? For example, if we have our standards and our boundaries, I shouldn't have to be repeating myself over and over and over. If I say, okay, this is what I like, that's what I like. And if I say, this is what I don't like, for the most part, that's what I don't like. So I would not allow someone, if I told someone blatantly that, look, this is not my style, I don't like this. And if I realize that this person continues to aggravate me by going outside of my boundaries, then guess what? I'm going to drop you like a hot potato. I'm not going to let you cause me to curse, to swear, to be bickering and, back and forth in and raising my pressure, which thank God I don't have any pressure issues, and getting stressed and all worked up. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not do it. You understand? I'm not going to get fed up either because of that. Listen, I'll walk away. Now I know better. I do better. I've found myself in some situations. I'm like, hold on. I want me find myself here, so. How did I even get here? Why am I even here? Why am I even here? I don't know. You ever go to sleep yet, and sometimes you wake up and you find yourself like you wake up and you either say, hold on, I work morning this, like for example, you may wake up on a Saturday morning and you don't work on a Saturday and you jump out of the sleep and it's like you're all topsy-turvy, don't even know where you at, much less to remember if it's a work day or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's how sometimes, when I look into my life, I had to ask myself, how did I find myself here? When did I get here? Why am I here? So these are some of the things when I am personally evaluating myself, I ask myself these questions. I look into these things and I'm like, okay, is this the right choice? Is this the right decision? Because I've made some foolish, stupid decisions in my past where now I really don't think, I highly don't think that I would ever make again. So what are some of the decisions that you have made, or have you looked into yourself and say, you know what, next time I know better to do better, I will not make that decision again? How many times do you allow people to make decisions for you? Valuable question. You have some people, holy, 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 holy only on one day of the week, whether it be a Saturday or Sunday, whichever day they go to church. For the rest of the week, you'll be wondering if that's the same person. Again, these are things that comes up when we do self-evaluation. Holy is the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God, born into sin that I may live again. The precious Lamb of God. Are we precious? I am precious. Are we living like who we truly are? Royalty? Are we living below standard? Are we compromising just to fit in? These are some of the things that we have to take a step back and look into. Yeah. Are you compromising just to fit in? I wasn't born to fit in. I was born to stand out. So that's why when people say all manner of evil about me, guess what? I'm going to continue to give them stuff to talk about. Because I realize that when people talk about it, that means you're very, very important. Listen, whether it's bad or good, somebody talking about you, yeah, go on with yourself. Yeah, you're doing something. Yeah. So take time out to evaluate self. Take time out to evaluate self. Are you where you're supposed to be? Are you where you want to be? What have you achieved? How old are you? Right? Did you set goals? Have you set any goals? I know this may sound simple to some of us, but you ever say if you say we frog take for joke? What others take for joke, frog take for debt. So in retrospect, what someone may be just living carefree and who cares about self? I'm just living. Another person may be like, no, I gotta take check of myself. I gotta be mindful of who I am, what I do, what I say, who I have around me, everything, how I do, period. So these are some of the things sometimes we definitely forget. We definitely forget. And because of forgetting about these things, we often run into problems. We often run into depression. We often run into problems with people, drama. We often give up on ourselves and lose focus, give up on our dreams. And so we become stagnant. And then sometimes when we give up on our dreams and we waste time, we also waste time sometimes. Are you wasting time? These are some of the things that you ask yourself, look into yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing now? You know, have I even set goals? Have I achieved? Did I attain any of those goals? What time period? Like all of these things. Because you have a lot of people today, they're in their middle age. And when they look into their lives, they're saying to themselves, why? Me dey on earth for 40 or much years, I'm not have nothing. Some of them not even have a piece spot, like myself. Some of them never even achieve anything like myself. You understand? So when I'm speaking, I try to include myself because again, I'm not better off than anybody. I am different. We're all unique, right? But yeah, I don't want to when me reach a certain age, me go look back and say, man, me waste my years, waste my time, I'll focus on other people, focus on foolishness and nonsense. I don't want to be at that place. So I have to, right now, it's not too late. If you've not been evaluating yourself, stop now. Start. Stop now and start. What am I saying? Stop. Take some time out for yourself. Evaluate where you are today. Evaluate where you were yesterday. Evaluate for the future. Understand that we're living in the present. We're living in the present. But at the same time, we have to know if we're growing. Are we growing? Is our lives being transformed from the dust to diamond? These are all things that we have to take into consideration. There's no time for people over Miss James yard or Mr. James yard or to be on social media fasting in a people business. Because a lot of people, they will come here, even with this live, they will not say a word. They will not even support nothing. All they come to do is to hear, to go back, go say, she. You don't know what she did over here, so say. Stop what you're doing. Evaluate your life. Start now. Start now. Start now. Okay? You have some people, all they thrive off is gossiping and drama, backbiting. They come and they smile in your face, and their heart is not matching up with the smile on their face. They're so fake. They're so made in China. I don't want to surround myself with people like that. I don't want to surround myself with people who will drain me, drain my energy, waste my time. Just like you have some relationships, you enter into some relationships, your goal was to have a relationship for eternity, but guess what? It didn't work. And I'm not the one who's going to sit and continuously waste my time. I realize that, listen, this is not for me. Bye. I'm at a job. I realize that the job is not working out for me. I thought it was because of what they presented to me at the beginning, just like a relationship. A lot of times people will look at others and be like, oh, she this, she that, oh, him this, him that. But we have to understand that until we are in that shoe, we're not quick to judge. So that is one thing. Are you easily quick to judge other people? Are you easily quick to condemn other people? What are you doing better than the person who you're quick to judge or condemn? Are you in a position to even do so? Self-evaluation. That's all I'm come to talk about tonight. Self-evaluation. You notice I'm calm and nice tonight? Collective. Classy. Yes. Classy. Royal Cleopatra. Yeah. Self-evaluation. What's your appetite? What is your appetite for? Are you for they ready done, like, okay, that looks really nice, but are you getting under the surface of that cake? You see that cake in the store and you be like, oh my god, that looks like red velvet, but then when you buy that cake, you didn't even take time out to take a slice to see if inside was hollow or if it was well packed. What is our appetite? While we're doing self-evaluation, what is your appetite? What is going on through your head? Are those good thoughts or bad thoughts? Are we thinking good of others, or are we just always thinking bad of others? And as we talk about that, that leads me to say this. Many times it's because of people's actions why we think of them a certain way. While they would get it wrong to say, oh, that's how you see me. No, it's because of your actions. Actions, as they say, speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. So if I am going to judge you, it's based on your actions. It's not any hearsay or from the past. It's what I see with my own eyes. Right? And that's how I speak. Now I will teach others about my experiences and how not to walk down those paths. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with uplifting someone, inspiring them, encouraging them not to go down the wrong path that I went. I've been there, so I know what it tastes like. I know what it is like. So nothing is wrong with me coming and sharing and teaching you also about repentance. Are you living a life that is pleasing to God? Are you raising your standards as God is? And are you acting on His word? Are you living in the world of the world? Are you lusting? Are you really a genuine person? It says, how can we live or how can we preach the word when it comes to Jesus Christ, but we are living contrary to it? So that's why I have to be mindful of myself these days. Not to say, oh, I can't be myself. I'll be myself because, to me, I have the formal side of me, I have the casual side of me, and I have the brawling side of me. Yeah, when I say brawling, like, being humorous and just laughing out loud if needs be and all of that. While someone who doesn't really know who I am, they will start to judge me because they'll be like, oh, and she said she a chaplain, but oh, she a guan. So that's just my talent side of me. That's just my talent side of me. I do have talents. Yeah. When I was in school, I did drama, and I'm not talking about that messy drama, but drama in acting, like theater. Yeah. I did a little bit of it. And naturally, I think I have some skills in that area. So we're not to easily judge people. Find out first. Let's get to the root of the matter. Are we being hypocrites? So many times we are. My God. especially in modern days, modern times today. So many hypocrites around us. I can't listen. I can't really, I don't do well being a hypocrite. That's why most people be like, oh, she's just so blunt. You know, she doesn't sugarcoat, and she's just so abrupt. I mean, hey, that's how I know. I know sometimes it offends people because I know that I do intimidate people, but I also know for sure that I do inspire people. Many people have reached out to me and, probably hearing my stories that I'm sharing on a daily basis in recent times. And I mean, when I was going through all my turmoils and my tests and all those things, I didn't know that triumph would even come. I didn't even know that triumph would even come. I didn't even know that, oh, I would have gotten over this. So I can talk about it and even joke about it now. So when you see me talking about things that I've been through, that is not now. Okay? That's not now. Yeah, I'm just you call reenacting. Reenacting. It's okay to reenact because sometimes when we really take a stock and look at some nonsense and some things that we were involved in or that we did or that we said or we thought and you'll be like, oh my God. Shame ourselves sometimes. hmm Shame of ourselves sometimes. Are we just being holy on a Saturday or a Sunday? Can we live a life in such a way that even when others are not looking at us, they can't see us, that we're still living upright? Check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. All right, guys. So that's what I had to say to you tonight. Self evaluation. Send me the link, please. The link when me almost are done, people. You did right there, so see a link right there, so yeah. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. What is our appetite for while we're doing self-evaluation? How do we do? How do we see ourselves? What do we think of ourselves? What do we think about others? How do we treat ourselves? How do we treat others? So many things that we can look at when we talk about self-evaluation. Pick the beam out of your eye first before you pick it out of somebody else one. That's why when I come on here and I can speak boldly, because I was stupid one time. I was stupid, but now sense them knock sense in my big head right now. And sometimes I think somebody sensibly, when I realize somebody stupid. Do some nonsense sometimes in a life, you see, man. But again, that's why we have to do self evaluation to correct the wrong, to right the wrong. Yeah, we have to. Because if we don't, we're only leading ourselves to destruction. We can't say somebody lead us to destruction. That's why we have to do our own self evaluation. We can't say, oh, you caused this to happen to me. What did you cause to happen to yourself? Nobody's supposed to make you do what you don't want to do. Nobody's not supposed to make you say what you don't want to say. Nobody's not supposed to draw you out. No, nobody's supposed to. I tell you honestly. Honestly. Yeah. Yeah. So, guys, I wanted to think about that and do some self evaluation. And when you're doing self evaluation, I stressed it before and I'll stress it again. Make sure that you're doing genuine, true self evaluation and be honest with yourself before you can even be honest with someone else. Be honest with your own self, please. Because listen, a man where shit a bush and I him smelly, I want to step in at it. Just remember that. Sorry for the language, but in layman's term, in Jamaican term, because most of my people are from the Caribbean or Jamaica itself. You understand exactly when I speak like that. Not to say that I'm, like I told you, I can be brawling sometimes, so forgive me, okay? Please. Examine ourselves. Let us search and try our ways. And eventually, let's turn again to the Lord, because in essence, we can't leave out the part there. We can't leave out the part that we're talking about self, but we have to talk about our Father, Jesus Christ, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings. So search and try our own ways and then turn, repent, turn. You know, so I have to show that in before me go. You understand? Ask God to have mercy upon us for all, and according to his loving kindness and his tender mercy, to blot out our transgressions. My God. Can you imagine if it wasn't for his mercy and his grace and his saving us? Jesus. Wow. And they also says, don't you think too highly of yourself than others, than we are, or than we ought to think, because sometimes we do, sometimes we get a little bit carried away, yeah, and we think a little bit too highly than we really ought to. And when we do that, that makes us think that, yeah, like how some people that call me and say from a company TVJ, me go on like me SHIT can make party, yeah. Mm-hmm. You understand? But in that essence, I didn't think that I was thinking way too highly of myself. You understand? That's just how life is. Sometimes what we put in is what we get out. Where you sow, where you reap. All that too. When you're doing self-evaluation, you have to remember that. What we sow is what we reap, and we can't want plant mango and want reap cane. No work, so. And we have to confess our sins. And that's why, like I can sit here on this platform or any other platform and speak. And who don't like the truth, listen, I'm sorry. Because some of us, we really know the truth, but because we want to try to drag down people to come back to fit. Because you have some people that them just not going nowhere. And that's why I said you have to do self-evaluation and see the people who you are in company and in league with. Because some of them you have to drop them like breadfruit. Some of them you have to drop them like hot potato. Like, yeah, you have to. Because that's what some people's job is. You have some devil here on earth. I'm telling you, you have some devil here on earth, and God is not going to chastise me to say that, because it's just the truth. You have some people, them just want to in your life more than how you're in your life, and they know about your life more than how you know about even your own life. That's just their duty, to cause chaos, confusion, and just pure trivial matters and be trifling. You understand? And then they're the ones who look at you and they want to tell you that you are the one who is trifling and act like they are the victim. It don't work like that. Ain't nobody in a fool around here. God and an idiot. So only can stay there and allow people to drag you to the mud like pigs. Don't make no sense. So self-evaluation, honest, true, genuine, authentic self-evaluation. We have to. And we have to be sober when we're doing so. You understand? Yeah, and it makes sense for drunker. Drunken man never know when to. Tell him when to tomorrow morning. He say a lie, I tell. You understand? So we have to be sober. Bless the Lord all the times. Have a praise in your mouth for the Lord all the times. Bless others. I mean, yeah, I used to be selfish. Are you a selfish person? Even that. Are you a selfish person? Eh? Or are you a generous person, a kind person? Are you a meek person? Because even the Beatitudes, are we living up to that? Come on now. Psalm 119 verse something say, I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. And that's why, like I said, I can sit here boldly and speak, beautiful and bold, and speak, because I've spiraled from stupidity to sensibility, and I'm here to teach others, to share with others, and to share my testimony with others. Some may get it, some won't. All right? Some may get it, some don't, some won't. but it's okay. Like I said, I'm not here to prove. I'm only here to improve. I'm here for growth, for transformation in a good way. Yeah? I'm here for growth. I'm here for the maturity. I'm not here for the cuss because that's just what some people want. No. Make sure we gird our loins, gird the loins of our minds, because sometimes we have some thoughts. Sometimes some people will think evil of them, but you can't allow that to happen to you, because at the end of the day, it's all about self. Are you wrecking yourself, or are you allowing yourself to grow? You know, like how you have those flowers and they bloom, they blossom because you water yourself, you take care of yourself. Even just basic, where you get up, you bathe, you shower, you brush your teeth. That's also a part of self evaluation. Are you coming from the bottom of the Maslow's hierarchy to self actualization? That's a part of self evaluation. Where are you now? Where were you then? Where did you want to be? Did you achieve that? Are you on the mark? Are you off the mark? Are you not on the mark? Period. Yeah. So let's gird our loins of our minds and be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto us at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Because at the end of the day, when we're doing self evaluation, we're nothing. We are nothing by ourselves. Just remember that. We're nothing by ourselves. So no matter how a man get up and go on bigger door, we're nothing by ourselves. Okay? We are nothing by ourselves. So I hope that you will also love yourself, forgive yourself, take care of yourself until we see each other again, until we meet again. Right here, same place, same time, on a Thursday evening, on Testimony Thursday with your Royal Cleopatra. Time to testify. And we testify in all different kinds of ways. Sometimes we come with the word, as in scriptures where we just like a preaching, teaching kind of thing. Sometimes like a ceremony. Sometimes we just come with us chit chat. Sometimes we just come, we just talk. We're just having a conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for coming back each week, and not only just coming to lurk and to see what to hear what she's talking about this week, because that's what some people do. But I really don't care. I'm going to say that bluntly. I really don't care, because I'm going to speak what's on my mind. I'm going to speak what is downloaded inside of me. That is what I'm going to come on here and I'm going to speak. So some people may be offended. Like I said, I do intimidate some and I do inspire some. It's okay, because I can always I will always remind myself that I cannot please everyone. And I'm not here to please everyone. Okay? As long as I'm living a life that is pleasing in God's sight, and I'm pleasing myself somehow, the best way, that's okay. Because I realize that I will not be able to please everyone. Some like coffee, some like tea, some like water, some like juice, and you name it. All right? So, before you please anyone other than God, make sure you please yourself first. Put yourself first. Evaluate where you're at today, where you want to be, where you're supposed to be. Think about the things that you're doing. What's your appetite for? Are you lusting? Are you just chilling and taking, just a kickback and tansa back and just go and enjoy life and just take a moment, take a break or so? Are you just keep on going like a robot? Are you always on the go? As I said, so many different tangents that we could go off in when we talk about self and self-evaluation. So, are you healing? It's time to heal. Give yourself. Give yourself. So when I say give yourself love, give yourself everything, give yourself time to heal. Listen, give yourself. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. And we're almost at the end of another week. We say, yay, it's almost Friday. And for those of you who participate on a weekly basis, you're very loyal. You support what I do. You know, I don't get much support from much people, but that's okay. But people want you to support them. And as you always see me say, if you don't support me, I'm not going to support you. Some people will say, oh, continue to support them no matter what. No, I'm not wasting my time. So that's one of my evaluation that I took note of. Oh, my son just reminded me, game night tomorrow. I think I'm just going to do it on YouTube. Just on YouTube. If anybody come, they come. If not, we just have fun with ourselves until, yeah. All right. So please don't forget, if you think this is something worth sharing, go ahead, because again, the way how these platforms are, like I said, I don't really do anything for love or likes, but I would still like the numbers to go, because everything works based on algorithms. And if you don't share, if you don't comment, if you don't like, if you don't participate, period, then we're going nowhere. So if you think that if you think that what I'm doing, because you know, I have some people, all they come, like I said, they come back every week and they share, and those people, I got a prize for, so I got some surprises for some people. And that's why I always ask God to continue to bless me, bless the people who He put into my life, you know. And for those who must have been in my life, I pray to God that don't make those people come into my life no more. Just let the people who are supposed to be in my life be in my life. And as you know, it doesn't really need, you don't need crowd. You don't need no crowd. But as I said, you know, whatever is on my heart, I will come and I'll speak about it. If there's any topic or any, you know, suggestions, you can always feel free to inbox, comment, whatever, if you want us to talk about. Because like I said, I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to speak with you. That's what a conversation is about. So I don't want you to think, oh God, that I'm bigger door and I'm above you. No. We're all on the same page. Okay, guys. So you have yourself a wonderful night. Bless up yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow night and Saturday night. Because oh, for those of you, please, I'm gonna ask you to go subscribe to the Ladies Uplifting and Inspiring page on YouTube, and also to subscribe to my personal channel, live Life with Royal Cleopatra. On that channel, you'll find everything, my life, my story, my experience. It's a family channel as well. You'll find everything over there. You know, humor and all of everything. The truth and nothing but the truth mixed with humor. All right, guys. So peace out. I love you all. Thank you for joining tonight. All right. Bye bye.